Right now, when I am going to start this beautiful talk today, one of my students came to me and he asked why you are going to record these videos. One of the fine questions that was asked by someone. The student says that why do you record these things if we don't have enough audience? And yet people, my friends, my colleague always ask to me that you don't have enough audience on your YouTube channel and people are not very much following to you, so why you are going to put all these efforts to record these things and words? This is very interesting question that might be striking for all of you too, and many of you would be asking the same questions whenever I upload a new talk, a random talk, or you can say a podcast, or a random click, or a very brief discussion. You know, at this platform, we own it. We don't have our job restrictions. We don't have institutional restrictions upon us. We are not bound to what Noam Chomsky says, that wages slavery. We are working to get wages, so we are bound to certain terms and conditions. We are not free in our societies to tell what we really think and what we really feel. We are not at liberty to share everything what we have in our heart. Knowledge comes from your heart, it comes from your intuition. I believe it comes from your own inquisitive and curious nature. It comes. So at this own, when we have our own YouTube channel or any social media platform, I could have write, you can say, a diary or an autobiographical book where I could share my ideas in the form of essays or a book. But the problem is, who will read my diary? Who will read my books? People are no more accustomed to reading the written text. So thinking about this, that these social media platforms are used by many of the people who are engaged with academia, students, teachers, scholars, researchers. So I think that I just wanted to say my own words in a way. When I have freedom of expression, freedom of thought, in my own way, I am at liberty to share anything what I personally feel. And it brings in front of me a limited audience, limited students in front of me who are not bound to attend these sessions, who don't have attendance restrictions imposed upon them by their university administrations. So here you people are not with me out of some restriction or fear of grades, of marks, of attendance. No, not at all. By your own choice, by your own freedom, you have chosen to watch these videos. So here we have selected audience with all types of freedom of expression, of thought. We can talk independently, we can talk freely on any topic, in any way. Whatever I feel, whatever I have learned, I can share with all of you. That's why I do make my own videos here. And also, we are not bound to the business model of academic institutes, which see students as customers. You have to please your customer. That whole business model is based on the customer satisfaction. So you have to tell, you have to teach which can please your customers. And students are really customers in that model, and they have paid a fee in the private academic institutes, especially at higher education level. All right, the thing that we are going to discuss today, the first point is about research and publication criteria and what's going on in our higher education institutes. So they make you bound to publish your researches, to create your impact in the academia and things like that, and students and professors, scholars are promoted on the basis of that research publications. I see the whole process of research and publications as, you can say, mock research, not a real research. You are bound to follow certain traditional ways or formats, like you have some criteria, you have some scale to measure everybody on the same scale. Like when you expect a fish, you judge its ability by its ability to climb on a tree. You have to follow certain APS styles, certain Chicago styles, certain styles of referencing, certain pattern of writing literature review, and you have to create the significance of your research, which is very much artificial for me. There is no significance of all your research papers and theses. They are just there is a whole chunk of theses which are placed in the shelves of your academic institutes. No one reads them. There is no significance of that research. No one reads those research papers. Only those people read who are again going to produce the same sort of work. That is just an exhaustive work. It's not creative work, it's completely mechanical work. It's killing the individual passion. We have many talented students who are very good at reading, who like to read so many books, who have enough knowledge to share, who have enough curiosity to learn new things, and who can talk creatively, who can write creatively, who can read new books, who know a lot many languages. But they have to put all those things in an artificial format, to follow some traditional way of, you have to follow certain format of research. When you take your work to the authorities on any platform, they're going to look for the formation, the formats of your writing pattern, the commas, the full stops, the parentheses, the punctuation marks there, and how the words are written, the names, the capitalization. These are formats. We have lost the real essence of knowledge and learning at the cost of these artificialities. So the real essence of knowledge and learning has been blurred, and these artificialities have been foregrounded in our academic environments. Every single student who has to go through the Master of Philosophy or Doctor of Philosophy, or he has to establish himself as an influencing teacher at the higher education level, he must appear with some publications and lead research articles and things like that. We are pushing majority of our students to follow these traditions. There was already enough burden and stress upon the students regarding their marks, grades, competition, having good grades and passing through their entrance test in the form of MDCAT and ECAT and things like that. So we have put our children, our students, into a very destructive competitive environment. They have to pass through a race, they have to compete with others just to win, just to make other people lose the game, and for themselves they have to win the game. And we have lost the real essence of learning and knowledge that was very much dependent on reading and writing skills, that was very much dependent on the individual talent. Knowledge does not come out of these traditional practices. Knowledge comes from the real inquisitive nature, the curiosity of the students, its passion. And in the Arabic, we have a beautiful word that we call janoon. That is an alternative Arabic for the word passion. So a student or even a teacher, a researcher, a scholar who has a real curiosity in his nature, he can go through many books. In our recent research works, people no more read books. They go quickly on the Google, they find a specific line they want to quote, they just paraphrase it. Even the references are made artificially by looking at the references given in the brackets of those research works which they find on the Google. So the real knowledge, learning, curiosity is being killed by these traditional circumstances, and the individual real talent is being crushed at the cost of these artificialities. What happens at the end? Now an individual has enough talent to read the books deeply. He has to go below the surface of these textbooks of grades, marks, and these criteria of judging people. People could go into the depth of that, but we are making them bound to follow the tradition. The result is the creative people, the intelligent people, whether they be students or teachers, they are bound to these traditions. Much of their curiosity is lost, being bound to all this, and we are killing individual talents. I think the world is in need of a unique educational model, a new model that may take us back to the originality of knowledge and learning. Like in my best knowledge, according to my best knowledge, I think Hamza Yusuf has built a new Zaytuna Institute, the Arabic name, in California. He's established an institute where they are teaching liberal arts with classical books and classical scholars. They are working in that domain. But the world really needs such an academic model where the students can choose the subjects according to their own interest. They can even choose a teacher according to their own interest. And a teacher should be at liberty to choose from amongst many students which students he would like to admit in his classroom, in his lecture. We see 40 to 50 students in a classroom who are no more interested in the lecture of the teacher. All the students are bound to attend the lecture to fulfill the criteria of attendance at a higher education level. We see that all of them can never be interested in that subject and for that teacher, so we are making them bound. The result is the teacher finds an exhaustive environment in the class where the majority of students is not interested even for your lecture. So all that practice, teacher loses his energy when there are just 4 to 5 students out of 50 who are interested in that subject, in that lecture, in those skills which the teacher is going to teach, whether it be skill or knowledge. So there should be the choice of student, personal choice, which teachers he want to attend the lectures. The teacher should also be very much free without any social, economical or institutional pressure to let all the students be in the classroom. Teacher should be at liberty to select a selective audience for his classroom discussions to enhance the quality of the lecture and learning. And much of these artificialities, the rubbishness, I think this stupidity must be put to end, requiring research publications that have no meaning, no essence. We can make researches, the creative minds can make researches. It can be a separate area. Study, teaching, reading and writing. People can write their books. People can write their essay. There is no need of having an abstract, of having a literature review. People wrote wonderful essays like Francis Bacon, like John Ruskin, like many other British philosophers, and the real writers like Charles Lamb, and much of the prose of Edward Said, and many others like that. So we have wonderful prose writings in English. We have wonderful writings in other disciplines of liberal arts as well. It's not compulsory for one to publish, to get his work published and to follow a certain format. A person can write his own way. Why we are making restrictions on everyone in order to complete his degree, to create certain format of research work, of writing work? So these limitations, these restrictions, what is the result at the end? A student who spends 18 to 20 years in this academic process, starting from KG, from nursery to one class, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reaches his master's studies and then PhD doctorate studies, what happens with him? After spending 20 to 25 years till his higher education, students feel that this whole activity was so exhaustive. They wasted the most energetic lifetime of the most energetic years of their lifetime they have wasted in these academic institutions following these traditions just to have a piece of paper that we call degree and then entering into a job, being a part of a firm, of an industry and having a job. They're living as a slave, having wages slavery, what Noam Chomsky would say. So it brings disillusionment, and this is a very tragic disillusionment, catastrophic end of this whole academic process when a student at the end of his higher education. I recently met with one of the finest and greatest intelligent, most intelligent in linguistics. I met a PhD scholar who said that I won't like my children to go to a school. He is a PhD scholar, lecturer at a university, teaching in a very reputed university, at a prestigious university of our country. And that PhD scholar, he says that I just wasted a lot of my life in these academic institutes. He sees the people working and teaching at PhD level so poor, so ignorant, and he's so much disillusioned about this whole academic process. That PhD scholar, he says, he has arranged some chicken, some hen, and some physical activities, some poultry farm for his children. He thinks that his children should be engaged in physical and creative activities instead of going to schools. He has made his children out of school. He no more believes. Our students no more have a belief in educational institutes. They have no more belief in their teachers, in their academic processes, in their books. They have become aware of the meaninglessness of this whole academic process without a true purpose, without the real essence of learning. That's why you will not find much respect when students. I recently attended convocation of a private university here in my country, and I found that out of 30 MPhil students, only 2 students appeared in the ceremony to receive their degree, because they knew that the words being used at these convocations, like I confer upon you the degree of this or that, whatever they say, whatever the typical words they use in their convocation, in their ceremonies, the vice chancellors, the governors, the board of governors, the president of the country even came to deliver a speech. But MPhil scholars, they had no enthusiasm to attend or receive their degree at that prestigious ceremony. They did not want to attend that anymore because they knew the meaninglessness of those sentences uttered by the vice chancellor or the governor or the president. They had no more emotional attachment with those words when a vice chancellor of university says, I confer upon you the degree of this or that with these responsibilities by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the constitutional whatsoever. So all those things and practices are really meaningless for the students. They no more like their degrees. They're no more eager and enthusiastic about receiving their degree. They know they just wasted their time. They just got the piece of degree to earn some money, to finance their families, and for their survival only. In the past, in our traditional academic model, the degree awarding ceremony was so emotional for the students. They were very enthusiastic about that. They used to spend 6 to 8 years with same teachers in same institutes. At the end of the degree, they appeared in the ceremonies. They received their degree with full passion and enthusiasm because they had a strong belief that when teacher was awarding the degree, it meant a lot for them. That the teacher says, now I am awarding you the degree. Now you are an authorized person to share the knowledge of my subject with the rest of human beings. This whole artificial, traditional academic environment is creating a frustration among students and human beings in general. And it's all wastage of time just for the sake of earning money, and the people who are the torchbearer of this system are fighting in this system just for their own survival. Many few people are there who are working with the full passion and enthusiasm among students and teachers, and they are even so much, it's difficult for them to survive in these circumstances. They want to create their own world. They read their own books. They have their own circles where they feel fresh, where they can share their ideas. And here, when I am using these sessions with you, this is an open message. My doors are open to everyone who is willing to learn, share his ideas. My videos may doubt you that there might be commercial benefits of these. So I would like to tell you that these discussions are for no commercial use. This YouTube channel is not for any commercial benefits. We are just here to share what we feel. We want to put emphasis on the individual talent, what an individual wants to explore. An individual might be interested in Islamic philosophy, or Al-Ghazali or Iqbal might be his favorite, but becoming an engineer, doctor, or a banker because his parents want him to be. So these were a few of my thoughts I thought I would like to share with you. Let's hope for the best. Maybe our future generation would see a better academic environment. Thank you.